Welcome back, everybody. We're here to look at your weekly cards. For those of you who have Leo placements, this can be for your sun, moon, or rising sign. And so, boop-a-doo-doo, we're just going to take a peek at each day of the week and see what shows up. This is a general reading, which means we can talk about love, we can talk about family relationships, we can talk about work, we can talk about finances. It's all on the table. Any of this can come up. We just leave it to Sacred Spirit to pick what's the most important to talk about for us each day. Okay, Leos, let's get you some cards down for your basic read. And let's see what we have. All right, first card out is Monday. Temperance card showing up in reverse. Excuse me, we've got something out of balance. I certainly have something out of balance inside my digestive system. Okay, something out of balance showing up on Monday. Just kind of feeling into that for a second, if you don't mind. I'm going to tell you, I think some of you, this won't be true for all of you, but some of you are feeling out of balance because you might have imbibed a little too much the night before. Might have had a little too much fun Sunday night. Not really winding down like we normally try to do. Let's see what we have. Okay. Hmm. Looks to me like you may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the things that you have to learn today. So I don't know, maybe you're doing orientation at a job, or maybe you're having to learn a whole new system or a whole new platform or something at work. But it looks to me like there's something that you are having to learn today. And I think that this being out of balance is really affecting it. So if you're seeing this early, then maybe on Sunday night, go a little light so that this is not true. Every good psychic would like people to make certain things not true in their lives. And this is one of those cases where I would be delighted if you would make my cards into a liar. You guys, we all have free will. So just because it shows up on the table doesn't mean we have to do it. That's all I'm saying. All right. For those of you who we're not dealing with a hangover, I still think that there is a little bit of overwhelm, that feeling coming with some new information that you need to learn, having to do with either work or some type of government situation. All right. Boop, ba, doo, doo, Tuesday. Moon card coming up in reverse. This is telling me that on Tuesday, there is a truth that is coming out. This is not information that you're having to dig for. This is a situation where you knew something was fishy. You just couldn't quite figure out exactly what was off in this situation. When the moon shows up in reverse, that really clarifies that for you. That gives you more information to work with so that you know now how you feel about something where before you were having a hard time maybe even deciding because things didn't seem just right. Just a little unsettling feeling. Let's look at what this has to do with on Tuesday. Hmm. This is interesting. This has to do with a visit from somebody who is, I don't know if they're necessarily a celebrity like we normally think of, like Oprah or Cher or somebody like that. But this is somebody who does have a good reputation among the people that know them, so in their industry, they have a good reputation, or in their family, they have a good reputation. Star quality with that star out here. So there is some kind of information coming up about a visit that was made or that will be made by somebody who is well known. Let's say that they're well known. All right, so that's Tuesday. Next up, we're looking at Wednesday. Wednesday, we have the star card showing up, and star card is in reverse. Now, when this card is in reverse for me, this is kind of This is talking about something that you were hopeful about originally, and now you're kind of seeing that it's not really going where I wanted it to. This is kind of a card that if I was gonna put keywords with it in reverse, the keywords would probably be something along the lines of the writing is on the wall. Like you're starting to see that this thing is going down, it's sinking, but it hasn't completely sunk. Maybe you're hopeful that you can turn it around still. Maybe there's still that opportunity. But for right now, there's definitely some red flags on whatever the situation is. So let's see a little bit more about what this situation is where the writing's on the wall. What is this situation having to do with? Okay. Has to do with a new beginning, having to do with love, or has to do with a child that you care about greatly. I think for a lot of you, this has to do with a child that you care about greatly. Maybe some of you were hoping for a visit from a grandkid or a niece or a nephew, and you're starting to realize that that's not very likely after all. For others of you, maybe you're trying to accomplish something. Maybe you're trying to um, potty train a kid, and it's not going as well as you had hoped. And maybe that's because somebody else isn't cooperating. If there's like a co-parenting situation and one set of people is trying to potty train the kid and the other one is not, that makes it a pretty rough haul. So there could be something like that going as well. Or this is some kind of new love relationship with the child can indicate something new, doesn't have to be a child. And this can be a new love relationship. This could also be a new friendship, but you're already seeing how it's not destined for very long unless there are some changes made. And I don't know, each situation is going to be different. Some of you may recognize that there are some changes that could be made to make that work. Others of you may realize that there's just not any room, any leeway for that here. And that's going to be different for different ones of you. All right, let's move on to Thursday. Here we have the devil cards showing up. So something toxic happening on Thursday, and we're going to look at that. Or you could be interacting with a Capricorn. I don't know why we assign the devil card to a Capricorn person, but there you have it. Um, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek and see what this has to do with. That'll tell us a little bit more about if this is really toxic or if this is just a particular person that you're interacting with. Okay, this is interesting. Because I feel like when I put the cards down, I feel like, yes, it's toxic and yes, it's a person. We do have a female showing up, and this is a female that you care greatly about. We saw this card 1 or 2 days ago here on this same video. So a female that you care very greatly about. This could be your significant other, married or not. This could also be like a mom. This could be a sister. This can be a tribe member. This can be anybody that you care about greatly who happens to be a female. Okay. So somebody that you care about greatly, I feel like they're dealing with something that is toxic today. And I feel like that comes to your attention. Now, generally, if something shows up in your reading about another person, that's happening because whatever's going on with this other person is impacting you in some way. So something's going on today with this other person's toxic behavior that is impacting you today. Yeah. And that toxic behavior is going to be different for different ones of you. For some of you, this could be emotional insecurities. For others of you, you could have somebody in your life who has addiction issues. So that can play out a bunch of different ways. So I'm not going to say this is exactly what it is. It's going to be different for each one of you. Now, let's look at Friday, Leos. Queen of Pentacles showing up in reverse. You are cutting off some kind of generosity that you've had to somebody because originally you started giving whatever this was to them as a way of supporting them so that they could get a leg up. Instead of using that to get a leg up, what they're doing is they're becoming more dependent on you instead of more self-sufficient. So you're cutting off that generosity because it's been counterproductive. And we'll look at what this has to do with real quick here with the Lenormand deck. This is interesting. We've got the clover and we've got the book. Now, the book can be sacred things, can be arcane things. It could be that, Leos, maybe you've been giving somebody readings or you've been giving them some kind of energetic lift or boost or help, whether it's energetic healing or shamanistic work or whatever. It's been very helpful to them with the clover. It's been good stuff. But instead of moving forward and becoming self-empowered, now they just run to you. They're not making their own decisions. They're running to you for a reading. Or they're not doing their own self-work. They're coming to you for a little boost. So that could be what's going on. The other way that this can come in, and I do think we've got about 50% of you that it's coming in this way, you could be teaching somebody something. And this is information that's very beneficial for them. But you're finding out that instead of them actually learning what you're trying to teach, instead of picking up that information, what they're doing is they're just coming to you whenever they need answers and not figuring out how to use that information for themselves. Either way, you're cutting it off. You're saying, I'm not doing this anymore. You're either going to take this and run with it or you're not. But I'm not going to be the person that is handling this for you anymore. Okay? So let's see, Leos. Let's look at your weekend. You start off showing up with the King of Wands in reverse, followed by the Ace of Swords in reverse. So Saturday, King of Wands in reverse says that you're not feeling like your normal self. You're not feeling like being social, outgoing, cheerful. I feel like some of you actually just want to stay home. I think you've got some things that you want to do at home. And so a lot of you just want to stay home. So let's take a peek and see a little bit more about that. Why is the King of Wands showing up in reverse here? What can you show me in two cards with the Lenormand, please? Boop ba da doo doo boop boo. Oh yeah, you're totally deciding to. You're deciding that you want to be sort of reclusive today. With the mountains, it just makes that's not my normal interpretation of the mountain card in this deck, but the mountains talk about being at a distance. You don't want to be too close to people today. And you're choosing that with the cross coming up. You're choosing that. You may even be prioritizing your relationship with Sacred Spirit or the universe or Source, if you believe in them. You may be prioritizing that over your relationship with humans. Okay. Boop ba da doo boo. By the way, I believe in that. Just to be clear. All right, now Sunday, Ace of Swords in reverse. This card tells me that you're having some kind of epiphany or a breakthrough. This is a new idea that comes to you. And sometimes it can come in the craziest ways. Sometimes a little kid can say something in front of you and you're just like, oh my gosh, that just makes so much click. Like, why didn't I see that before? They may not even know how you're using that information. And it doesn't have to be a little kid. Anybody can say something in front of you and you just have this aha moment. That's basically the Ace of Swords is that aha moment. And I think also what's happening is you're turning around really quickly and you're passing on that information to somebody else. So we're really getting the double meaning from this card. We're getting the right side up meaning and the upside down meaning. Um, for me, traditionally on this card, are both coming in. You're having the aha moment, and then you're also letting other people know about it as well so they can benefit from that information as well as you. Okay. So that's what we have for your week, Leos. Thank you so much for stopping by, and joining me for a few minutes today. I do appreciate it. Also, I am doing readings this week, either on the phone or online. All you have to do is get a hold of me with the contact information on my website, and we'll get you scheduled and taken care of quickly, quickly, quickly. I don't believe in making people wait or having waiting lists, so I try to get you guys the same day if I can. Let's see. What else do you need to know? Oh, you guys are my wonderful sponsors. I'm not peddling, any kind of laser hair removal products or anything else. So please put a thumbs up down below, share this video out to the world, and put comments down below. I do always love to read your feedback, and that all of those things tell YouTube that this is a video worth showing to other people. So I appreciate your support in that. And then, yeah, the only other thing is everybody have a fantastic week. And if I don't see you for a reading between now and then, I'll see you back on the next video. Peace out.